Alright guys, Sharpie here, I'm back. A couple things to show you. One, my trophy count's up to 27 out of 34. I went and got Lightning Dancer. It is actually pathetically easy if you can stay focused. Yeah, it took me 2 tries. The first time I got up to 108 and screwed up, and the second time I got up to 212, I think, or something stupid like that. And the time I did 108, I tried to do all 200 in a row. What I did for the next time was I did a round of 80, took a break, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, then I did another 70, and then I did another 62 after that, just because I wanted to go a few past 200 on the extremely off chance I miscounted somewhere. The other trophy I went and got was Chocobo Master, which isn't nearly as hard as you'd think. It says to get 5 treasure chests. That's all you need to do. If you hit 20 poles along the way, doesn't matter. You won't get the 5 chest prize. Like, let's say you hit 2 poles, you'll get the 3 chest prize because it takes away from the pole, or the treasure prize, I should say. But as far as the trophy goes, you can hit every pole in the course as long as you get the 5 treasure chests and finish the race. So all I've got left are Sphere Master and then my golds and this video. And the funny thing about Sphere Master is this is the last sphere that I have to get. Break the level 4 lock, put something in there, fill it in. Like, what do I have? I think I have a oh wow, I messed this up. I was supposed to go get a sphere. That's okay, I'll start the next video with it. But yeah, basically that's the only thing, and you know that because I can't use a Master Sphere for anything. It means every node on the grid is full. I've gone through with all 3 of these characters, and I've powered up Yuna as well. Everything except the luck spheres. Obviously, she's not fighting anybody who needs the luck. So once I defeat the 2 super bosses, I'm clearing all of these. I'll put something arbitrary down, like a magic defense sphere or whatever. Fill all of these in, and then I'll bring the other 3 characters through too. That's going to take a while. It took me about an hour and 50 minutes to do Yuna. And that's because a couple things. Sorry. You run out of these spheres pretty quickly, and it actually takes a lot longer than you would think to actually move her around the grid. But as the title says, we are here to fight Penance. I have all my shaman armor on, celestial weapons.
We're counting on you, kid. Yee-haw! Here we go!
So the absolute first thing I'm going to do here is mix a trio of 999. And what this is going to do is allow or sorry, allow potions to recover basically the full HP amount. I'm pretty sure he's not going to Judgment Day me on his very first attack. That would be pretty cheap. In order to survive that, you need that defense plus 20, or you need to be able to get some cheers on. So you could actually do like an ultra null or something like that. And my plan is already going right out the window. It's great. Hate doing this. Blitz Ace kills a lot of, like, it has a long recovery time, so you want to use it as little as you need in this fight. Unfortunately, I don't want to take another hit from the arms. And see, now Waka's not going to heal himself properly. Which obviously does me no good. I don't really know how I screwed that up so bad. But that's okay, because you know what? I've got tons of these guys. Waiting to discover I actually forgot what I just used to mix these. So we'll try that again. I'm also going to, oh, it's underused, sorry. I'm going to go ahead and use this now. I'm going to use a 3 stars to reduce my MP cost to 0, so my quick hits never require anything. So for those of you that are just kind of tuning in for the Penance fight, I know some people just look at Super Boss videos. My stats are all maxed, except for Magic, because, you know, if you know anything about the game, you know there's one boss that you have to use Magic on, and it's optional, and that boss is what gives you the Magic Spheres for the grid, so it kind of becomes very redundant. So I don't bother. And then my luck is at 90. As many of you probably know, but I'll mention now anyways, if both of his arms are alive when the actual boss gets a turn, he'll use Judgment Day, which does 99,999 damage. I'm pretty sure it pierces through auto life as well. I feel like there's a reason why you can't auto-life your way through that, why I've never tried that or successfully done it, I should say. But nonetheless. Yeah. So, I much prefer, rather than bringing in a ton of X potions, trio of 99ing it, and then, yeah, doing some other mixes here. My overdrive modes are set to Comrade, so basically every time he does one of these attacks, I'm going to get full overdrives with everybody. Later on he switches to a single character attack, and we'll have to add some hot spurs and some eccentric to make sure that I always get a full overdrive. And actually Riku's overdrive didn't fully charge there. Huh. Why was it full last time? Oh, because I took that arm hit. Never mind. Already talking to myself. So this is pretty much how the battle goes, is it's a lot of repetition. For this first, well actually it's a whole lot of repetition the entire battle. He's going to use obliteration every attack until he drops his shell off. Incredibly predictable, incredibly preventable. It's quite possible Riku's overdrive didn't charge because now all my defenses are a lot higher too. So I'm looking at that as well. I'm about 3,000 damage. Or damage less than I've been doing before. So Blessed Gem and Twin Stars gives us Hot Spurs. I mentioned it a few times already, but for those of you again who are just kind of tuning in for this fight, I wrote a guide on this game, links in the bottom in the description there. That's kind of what I'm looking at for all the mixes, like what all the ingredients I need. I use 4 mixes here. I use Ultra Null, Trio of 999, Hot Spurs, and Eccentric. I don't hold nearly as much reservation about using attack reels versus Blitz Ace, because Blitz Ace is a very heavy recoil, like a agility recoil. Attack reels isn't so much. It's his second of 4 overdrives, and it just so happens that it doesn't do nearly as much of a delay as Blitz Ace does. But I mean, if you need Blitz Ace, if you need to hit for 300,000 very, very quickly, then you know, your options include either game over or using it, so. Manatonic, and Gambler's Spirit. And that pretty much guarantees my characters an overdrive every attack, even when he starts only attacking a single character later on. So instances like this where you need to kill this guy off incredibly quickly because the boss is about to get a turn, it's a great time to use Blitz Ace. That was close. So if you do still have luck, again, my luck's in the 90s. You saw me get 7 of the 8 first hits there were all critical hits. That's pretty normal. If you, for the most part, those hits, you'll get maybe 2 or 3 that are regular at the 13,000 and the rest are hitting for 25. So you can pretty consistently hit for 300,000 with the Blitz Ace. Rikku can get back in attacking. I think that's why that got so close, is because I was too busy mixing everything. Penance has 10 million HP. That's 101 quick hits. That doesn't seem like a lot. I mean, obviously that's a lot, but you know, if you didn't have to deal with his arms, this battle would be over in like 10 minutes tops. This battle could possibly take 45 minutes to an hour. I hope not to go over an hour for a couple of reasons. 1, I don't really like fighting bosses for hours on end. 2, I don't like recording for over an hour. 3, you probably don't want to watch the same repetitive thing for over an hour. And unless I screwed something up that I'm not aware of yet, I'm pretty sure I'm actually already prepared for the second phase of the fight. I think it's somewhere between 6 and 7 million he drops his shell off. Like, it's more than, it's above the 50% mark. So, and that's when he starts using, what's his other attack? Annihilation or something like that? Immolation. I think that's how you say it. So outside of that little hiccup at the very beginning where I took that physical attack from the arm there, and actually thinking back, I'm lucky that that didn't petrify and shatter me. I'm pretty sure it can. And none of my characters have Stoneproof or Ribbon on, because this is their custom armor for this specific fight, not their Stoneproof armors that I've been using for all my Dark Aeons and that. So I'm actually pretty fortunate. That could have gone extremely poorly. But yeah, unless I am forgetting about something, I've already prepped for the second half of this fight. That's what the Ultra Null was for. So I've got 40 potions, 93 high potions, and 37 X potions. So if I run out of potions here, I'm doing something wrong. And that's kind of a general statement for anyone watching. If you're running out of potions using Trio of 999, I don't know what to tell you. You can go buy high potions and regular potions, so something's not working out there. So actually just getting back to, uh-oh, crap. the fact that I went and leveled up Yuna all the way. It's the first time I've ever leveled up Yuna to max. When I wrote my guide the first time I played through the HD version here, I didn't use Waka, I used Titus, Rikku, and Auron, as some of you may be aware of. And Auron's overdrive tornado hits the entire enemy party twice for 75,000, I think it was, per hit. That's about 150,000. Probably not as good as you'd get with Waka, but it's consistent across all of the enemies. So, you know, with Waka you might hit the actual boss 8 times with his attack reels and only hit the arms 2 or 3 times each. Like, you know, figure out the math. I know I just did that wrong, but anywho, you kind of get what I'm saying here. And obviously, if you've taken the time to max out all the characters, use whoever you want to, or even switch some characters in, although that might get a little difficult. Later on though, when he starts using his single character attack, you can start using Guard and Sentinel and actually just make sure that he only ever attacks one character. You know, it's kind of burning a turn, and when this is a long battle you want to manage your turns pretty well, but it's definitely possible. And, you know, you could bring in somebody like Auron who's also fully powered if you wanted to. But I find that to be a lot of work to try and spread it around. You know, I always keep my three main party members, and that's kind of the end of that. But where this whole kind of story started from was the first time that I leveled up Yuna, and I've kind of maxed out all the Aeons. And Anima does a fair amount of damage with his overdrive with max stats, because it hits for something like 14 or 16 times individually. So I've got the animation to skip, so I get the big number at the end. So I mean, he hit Earth Eater, sorry, for like 250,000 with a single overdrive, which isn't, you know, compared to what you can do with characters, isn't really that great, but I've just never hit anybody for that much damage at once, so it's kind of neat. Here we go, the shell is off. So the first thing that might not be readily evident to some people is that you need to dispel his haste, because he picks up haste as soon as he does this. And he doesn't regain haste at all, so once you actually recover it, it's not a big deal. I'm going to use Dispel, but I'm actually going to use it on Sharby, because, and we're waiting to see it here, Armor Break and Mental Break. You will not survive the next hit, and there's no point in healing to full health if you're not going to survive the next hit, and if you get KO'd at any point you lose all your buffs that you went and mixed, right? That's why I had to do Trio of 999 twice, is because Walker got taken out. He hasn't hasted yet. That's weird. He definitely hasted last time I fought him. So when you use Dispel like I am right now, you don't lose... You lose your nulls, obviously. Haste and Protect are auto abilities, so you keep them. But you don't lose the cheers, you don't lose the trio of 999, you don't lose... What else did I do? The Hot Spurs and the Eccentric. Those all stay. Because they're not buffs in the sense of, like, they're not in the same class as the Protect and the Shells and all that kind of stuff. That stuff actually shows up on your screen there, like when you look at your status effects and that. And the other ones are what I like to refer to as hidden status buffs. And those just, you know, they're not affected by Dispel, you can't take them away. It's kind of like Auto Life. It's one of the few things that actually shows that you can't lose. If you ever try dispelling a character with Auto Life, they're still going to be able to, they're still going to auto revive. Oh, and 3 stars obviously, because I'm still quick hitting with 0 MP. Oh yeah, I was talking about Yuna. Yuna and Lulu would be terrible people to use for this fight because their special ability with their celestial weapons is based off their maximum MP. So as you can see, he's blasting my MP every turn for about 1,000, which means I'm never going to have full MP, which means they're never going to be hitting at full attack power. So you want to avoid using those two. And if those two were 2 of the 3 major characters that you've gone and leveled up, outside of being honest and saying that you're kind of screwed for this fight, I don't know what else to say. You know, it's a tough break, especially if it's, you know, your first time playing and you happen to like those characters. You use them a lot in the PS2 version. You bought this version, you figured, oh, I'm going to use, you know, my 2 gals. And you get to this fight and it's one of those, just makes them completely useless. I was actually just thinking about that. Did I remember to dispel the last character? No, I did not. So that could have ended incredibly poorly for me. And it's, honestly, all it takes is one mistake and then you start falling behind. And then things stop going right and the battle starts tipping in Penance's favor and then you're done. Another one of those random facts that I don't actually plan on showing to you, but I'll let you know about, is that you can actually, you can flee from this battle. You can escape, you can flee, you know, whatever your thing is, but, it's actually kind of nice that my guys have counterattack. I'm just realizing now. Hopefully they attack Sharby and Waka a lot, not so much Rikku, so I can get an extra hit in. What was I just talking about? don't know if it was the absolute last thing I was talking about, but I was talking about how as soon as you start making little mistakes like I just did, not dispelling a character in that, things can start going wrong. This battle is 98% skill and preparation and 2% luck. And that 2% luck is basically if you don't kill off one arm before he gets a turn, there's like a millionth of a chance that his second arm will regenerate and that you'll get hit with a Judgment Day. I've kind of remarked about the music throughout the game because they redid the soundtrack as well as the graphics and whatnot too. I don't really like this one nearly as much as the original. It just doesn't seem as epic, and this will be the first time that we hear it because we haven't gone through the actual final boss's stream yet, so it's not nearly as bad. I really hated the challenge soundtrack, the one that plays when you fight like Unaleska and the weird sin spawn at the Operation Mihen there. But I didn't like that one at all. The enemy attack, like the normal boss theme, it took a few bosses to actually kind of get it to settle on me, but it's pretty good. You know, the one other sound that I wasn't a huge fan of, they remade. I think it was Assault, because the first one was just so awesome. Run was a lot better this time around. And these are the names of the tracks there, so if you guys are kind of confused what I'm talking about. And even if you don't have the soundtrack, you can go and listen to the soundtrack in Luca there. And it's the remastered soundtrack, obviously, the one that's in this game, so oopsies. So you can check that out. You'll kind of know what I'm talking about. But yeah. Uh-oh. I always panic when he gets a turn and one of his arms are there. I remember what I was talking about earlier. You can flee from this battle, and the significance of that is A, you can obviously come back and fight him again, but B is that every time you kill the arms, they give you some items. So sometimes you get Master Spears, more often than not you get Dark Matters. So obviously if you wanted to farm dark matter, sorry, that's a little bit of a way to do it. At this point in the game, it's one of your best ways if you've already defeated all the Dark Aeons, especially Dark Yojimbo. Then that's pretty much what your game plan is going to have to be. But it's either that or, you know, getting lucky in the monster arena. I think I already mentioned this already, but I'll talk about it a little more, is immolation, or I don't actually know how to pronounce that properly. It's kind of been a theme of this Let's Play, is there's a lot of words I look at it and I go, that kind of sounds right, I guess. But immolation is a physical attack, which means you can control who gets hit by it. So Sentinel and Guard can be used here somewhat effectively, especially with these two guys that have evade and counter on. And as you can see, this is pretty much what the battle is going to come down to. I'm actually going to use an attack reels here, just because I can. I think the arms have something like 550,000 HP. It's a number low enough that 6 quick hits gets the job done. And see, that's just kind of the crappy thing, is right there, you know, we only got one hit in on Penance before his arms regenerated, and we have to start attacking these again. And that's pretty much just what drags the battle out. It kind of becomes just a test of combination of patience and focus, I guess. Because the minute that you try to get an extra attack or two in after an arm is regenerated is when something goes wrong. You don't kill off the arm fast enough. You know. Pretty much no different than what I was saying earlier. As soon as you turn around and stop sticking to your game plan is when you know, it all goes straight to hell, and you're stuck with 40 minutes of your life that you can't account for because you didn't get anything for the fight, and it's a game over, and you gotta reload. And that's the other thing that kind of separates this fight from the Nemesis fight, is if Nemesis kills you, you just kind of wake up in the monster arena, and it's like, oh yeah, whatever. That just happened, no big deal. If you die here, you get a game over, so... And while for, you know, our purposes, obviously I just loaded this up before I fought this guy. Most people would save before they challenge this guy. I would think they would save. Incredibly unfortunate if you didn't save, but... It just kind of sucks seeing that game over screen, like you get killed off by a monster in the monster arena, you know. Especially when you first start monster catching, and that those monsters are incredibly powerful. They're fiends, I should keep calling them now. But, you know, that's kind of the premise behind the monster arena, is that that's where your strongest characters are going to be, or your strongest enemies, sorry. And that's why you don't get a game over there, is because, you know, the amount of people that probably tried to challenge a monster or something like that and just got completely wasted. It'd be pretty crappy. I mean, there's a save point right there too, so one should hope that if you're challenging something you don't know about, you can save, but... So apparently it doesn't matter what overdrive you're using of Waka's, it doesn't really change his delay there. That's why I just kind of looked over all four of them there. His face didn't move from that spot. Like 2 under the boss there, so it just got a general delay, which isn't such a bad thing either. This is making me nervous because that arm took way too long to regenerate. And if you guys really don't care about the overdrives, like you're just quick hitting, you don't need to mix eccentric, you don't need to mix hot spurs. For me, it's just about making sure that I had enough like if I do need to use a blitz ace, I can get it back right away. That way I always have it available to me on the off chance that I do need it. You know, in my previous game it was Tornado 2. It was pretty useful, particularly in situations like this where you can hit both arms. It's also kind of nice that they don't do power break and magic break with immolation there. Because at least that way you still get a fully powered counterattack. So it seems like things are starting to go a little better right now. I don't know how I feel about that, to be honest with you, because I seem to be getting about 6 or 7 attacks in after I defeat the arms. Like I said, it just makes me nervous in case I'm still learning overdrive modes, in case something goes wrong. I know I still need to dispel, don't worry guys. I didn't just make another mental error. When I looked at the turn order there were only 6 turns, so I wanted to make sure I got rid of that arm before we got a turn back. So I could look at that, it would have popped up right there. And that would have been bad news bears, my friends. So, if you're not going to use this specific setup of weapons and armor, you're going to need break HP limit. I just feel like I should be talking about something right now. So I'm going to talk about this. The thing about break HP limit is that if you're going to be breaking the HP limit, make it worthwhile. Get up to 99,999, you know, maybe even 800 or 80,000, sorry. I just want to check to make sure I dispelled everybody. Yep. You know, I think my characters are just shy of 20,000. Like if I were to put on break HP armor, I have a few that I picked up from the Dark Aeons there. But 20,000, yeah, you'll survive his attacks, but it's just not worth it. The items have even though you have break damage limit, that only counts for magics and actual damage. Items always have the cap at 9,999. No, and I mean there are ways around it. You can, instead of using an auto potion, you could have somebody praying, have somebody using a Albed potion, you know, what have you. To be constantly recovering 10,000 HP, but you'll still need to be curing the armor break and the mental break, because if he hits a character with mental break, it's going to do the 99,999 damage like it just did. Oh my god, I just screwed up big time. Crap, 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 crap. Okay, so that is my second mental error. 50 minutes in. Awesome. And see, this is why you need to pay attention right here. This is a teachable moment. I'd love to say that I did this on purpose to show you guys something, but I didn't. But do that first, because it's going to take me about 3 or 4 turns to get back to that fully powered state, we'll call it. And I need to get incredibly lucky and hope that he does not hit Rikku on the next turn. I would love nothing more than to have Sharpie guard right now, but that's going to depend on how many attack balls hit the arm there. Nope. And the worst part about this is I was in control of the fight too. Damn it. So I really do apologize, guys, because this is going to drag the video on quite a bit. She doesn't even have a I know what you guys are thinking. I got pretty quiet all of a sudden. Okay, good. She got one of her overdrives. So I just wanted to make sure I got the mix right. So right now, I don't really think I care about hot spurs. I guess I'll find out if it charges fully or not. But I do want hyper, ultra null, whatever the heck it was that I used the null. I think it's ultra null. Yeah. And then I'll need to mix Trio of 999 back again. Okay, good, that did work properly. And this will make sure that she actually survives the next attack. Crap. This is assuming she does get another attack to survive. Oh my goodness. This is happening. Goody goody gumdrops. I could have recovered, quote unquote, if he attacked Rikku, but it would not have been pretty. And actually, you know what? She needs to help take this guy out first. Dispel yourself. I was torn with what to do there because if that other arm regenerated, it was going to be game over there. That's why I was kind of hesitating and seeing what my options were. I really didn't want to blitz ace because then I would have done more harm than good with the wait time and all, so. And I knew I only needed 2 hits, so it was kind of excessive. This is a perfect opportunity to catch up where I've been screwing up. Okay, let's fix this, finally. I feel like this is incredibly jinxing it, but at least I haven't missed an attack reels yet. Rikku doesn't really need to be mixing anything anymore, so I don't care that her overdrive gauge didn't fill just now. There we go. Dispel myself. Okay, so I am now back in that area of control that I was in probably about 10 minutes ago before I really messed up. On the plus side, I can almost guarantee that the Nemesis fight won't be this long. This has got to be close to over now. We're an hour in. I talked for like a few minutes in the beginning, and then we got going, so. Even though I think I'm pretty close, I'm not going to take any unnecessary risks. I'm not even going to bother attack reeling anymore. I'm just going to stick with quick hits. unless I need to attack real, of course. I think I mentioned it, but I didn't really go into detail about it. It took me about an hour and 45 minutes to completely complete Yuna's sphere grid, and that's starting from the point, I think it's Copycat. If you guys have kind of been following along, I picked a point, I'm pretty sure it was Copycat. It doesn't have, you can only go one way from it, yeah. So you can only start going left from there. And that was my start point, and then I take everybody around the grid, and I end up where Ultima is, because that's where my luck spheres are, and I showed you guys earlier, you know, I'll take all those spheres out later on. And that's why I put them all in one area, is you can clear them all out, and it's literally 19 spheres there, boom, 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 once you're done with all your luck battles and whatnot. Or I shouldn't say luck battles, but battles where higher luck is kind of required. I don't know how much luck you need for Nemesis. I know the Dark Aeons you needed quite a bit. But it took me, I started my timer, I actually timed this, like on my iPod, I turned on the clock app and, you know, started timing, started the stopwatch there, and it ended up being an hour and 45 minutes, and that was starting with 99 of all the spheres that I needed, so the power sphere, speed sphere, mana sphere. And the grid was already laid down with all of the other spheres, so all I had to do was just move along it and fill them in. And yeah, that actually took, I thought it'd be like 30 to 40 minutes, and it was an hour and 40 minutes. So keep that in mind as you guys try to get that gold trophy. It's going to add, you know, assuming that during the regular course of the game you max out your, you know, your regular 3 fighters like I have, it's going to take you about 6 to 8 hours to max out the other 4, and that's with the grid already down, which is a little depressing, but I mean, whatever. Starting to see why they made it a gold trophy. You need to be extremely motivated to actually get that trophy to bother doing it for any characters past your main 3. And actually, I'm using a separate file that I'm just using for recording, like for games that I've already done most of the trophies, just so you guys can see the trophies as they come along and whatnot. And this is the first game I've used. You guys saw that there's a Resident Evil 4 file there. I literally just played it. I started it just for kind of fun. I didn't save a file or anything like that, but I forgot that it's still going to trigger the trophies. So I've got 1 trophy there from the first little bit there. But beyond that, this is the first PS3 game that I've recorded. And seeing as how I've already gotten the 2 trophies that I didn't do in my original file, which were the Chocobo Master and the Lightning Dancer, which were the 2 that I was showing off at the beginning of the video. Yes, finally! I didn't get those two in my original, like my kind of main file, if you call it that, or my main PlayStation Network file. So I'm gonna go back and get those in my main one and get the platinum finally. But yeah, I will actually get a platinum for this as well. There we go. Perseverance, which is precisely what I had to do when things started going incredibly bad. 10 Master Sphere and 46 Dark Matter. So I feel like the Master Sphere are from Penance himself, and then the Dark Matter are all from the arms and that. Alright guys, so that is that. That took one attempt, which is kind of exciting. I actually didn't save before I went and fought him, which is kind of funny. I didn't do much, I just went and bought an armor in Makalania, but still, I should have saved. Anywho, this video is way too long as it is, so I am going to end it now. I will fight Nemesis in my next video, which will be part 39, I believe, and I will talk some more about everything there. So I will see you guys then.